Alright, so recently, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Golden admits, not Mark Golden, but Mr. Dr. Dayton Campbell made some statements. Eh? Let us go to the article for clarity. It says here, Golden moves to clarify Campbell's proposal to tax imported food. The article states that the opposition People's National Party has issued a statement that attempts to clarify and add context to opposition spokesman of agriculture Dr. Dayton Campbell reported suggestion to tax imported food. Opposition Mark Golden says the PNP does not see a need for new taxes. Listen to this.
So we don't see any need for any new taxes at this time. We have some ideas, and some of our spokespersons from time to time may say certain things. One of them, for example, is that the existing taxes that are collected on imported food items, we should earmark those funds to developing local agriculture that can eventually replace those imports. So we grow local production to replace imported food. But we're not talking about putting any new taxes on imported food because we don't see the need for that at this time.
Alright, so wanna hear that. Right? Let me play it again.
So we don't see any need for any new taxes at this time. We have some ideas, and some of our spokespersons from time to time may say certain things. One of them, for example, is that the existing taxes that are collected on imported food items, we should earmark those funds to developing local agriculture that can eventually replace those imports. So we grow local production to replace imported food. But we're not talking about putting any new taxes on imported food because we don't see the need for that at this time.
So right here, so pay attention to this. It says those taxes would then be used to create a fund that would support import substitution and export-led production of critical agricultural items. He mentioned the growing import bill and criticized the Holdings administration for issuing foreign produce import license liberally and without transparency. Mark Golden says the PNP is committed to practical solutions that empower Jamaicans, promote local production, and reduce the country's reliance on imports without imposing additional burdens on the Jamaican people. Alright? Now, this is the JLP's response. JLP stamps PNP proposal to tax imported food. So you see the title itself overall mess up already based off what we just could read. Alright? Because we just gave the full context. But let us hear what they're saying.
The PNP's indication via Dr. Dayton Campbell that they will resort to massive taxation if they were to form the next government is yet another reminder and an unmistakable sign that the PNP does not understand how to properly operate a free market economy.
Yo, he think he's saying something, bro. Yo, man, this was ridiculous. Okay, I'm sorry.
Applying a special tax on all imported food items into Jamaica would lead to an increase in the price of basic food items and will unduly burden the Jamaican consumers.
We are already in burden right now. All the stuff that you guys have imported, we have burden. All of them are expensive, more expensive than the items if they were grown locally and sold. So, hey, let me hear the other audio.
Such taxes would not be absorbed by importers, but instead would be passed on to consumers, with the poorest among us likely to be the hardest hit, as they, of course, expend a great proportion of their disposable income on basic food items. The Jamaica Labour Party is dismissing in the strongest terms the plan by the PNP to impose additional taxes on the back of the Jamaican people, and their proposal is reckless, unconscionable, and I dare say ill-advised.
So the Jamaica Labour Party is not reckless, unconscionable, and ill-advised in their current practices in terms of inflation and the economy going to hell. They are not standing from a position, a good position, to be critical of anybody. It's weird when I hear them talk, It's unbelievable. Let me hear this.
An argument may be advanced that Dayton Campbell is clearly speaking outside his area of competence, but the better view appears to be that the PNP's tax plan is consistent with the high taxation and inflationary policies that they have traditionally pursued, and those policies have had in the past, as it would in the future, have devastating effect on Jamaican consumers, as they would rapidly drive up the price of basic food items. It is...
Bro, stop the cap. Stop the cap, bro.
Stop the cap.
Hey, who is this? Do you see the price of food now under the Jamaica Labour Party? What is he talking about?
Quite clear that the PNP has not changed its philosophy and intends to impose additional burden on the back of the Jamaican people if they were given the opportunity to lead again.
Oh yeah, this is a political statement. That's it. That's all this is. This is for elections. This is because he's making no sense.
The GLP categorically rejects the PNP's unconscionable, inflationary, ill-advised,
inflationary? Yo, we have debunked the no tax thing already. We have debunked them speaking about they didn't implement no new taxes. Totally debunked. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go to a clip right now.
People and anti-free market economic policies. We believe in policies that are likely to contain the cost of living, moderate food prices, keep the price of basic food items within the reach of ordinary Jamaicans, and of course, increase the purchasing power of Jamaican consumers.
Yo, that sounds good enough. But it's the opposite happening under his government, The last part of what he just said sounds really, really good. But what is actually happening is the opposite. Right? Where is it? Is this one? Yeah. This last part right here sounds really good.
To contain the cost of living that are likely to contain policies. We believe in policies that are likely to contain the cost of living,
so they
moderate food prices, keep the price of basic...
So they believe in containing the food prices, right? That's what they believe in, those policies, right? Right?
We believe in policies that are likely to contain the cost of living.
Contain the cost of living.
Moderate food prices.
Moderate food prices. My Jamaican people, she said, does this guy know the meaning of inflammation? He must mean, does this guy mean inflammation? It has to be. He must be talking about a condition in the body. Because when it comes to inflation, we have seen high levels of inflation under this government.
Keep the price of basic food items within the reach of ordinary Jamaicans.
Keep the price of ordinary items. This is the same government that tax chicken back items that the poor people buy the most. Am I tripping? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't it this government that tax chicken back? Put more taxes on chicken back? You know what? Let me find the clip. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. Alright? Let me play this.
Things that we need to come to agreement about.
I said basket of goods that they are measuring.
Listen to this.
From a little spurt that occurred after development strategy that everybody can agree on, right? Abusing each other as a country and as green and orange and everything. And there is reason for us to be critical of one side or the other, no perfection on either side. But we have to find some things about which we can come to agreement about.
What are those things that we need to come to agreement
I
about?
said one is education. You said crime, and I agree with that too. I think economic development and how we include everybody in a program of economic development so that we end up with a pattern of development that offers the prospect of high wages, a high wage economy. Economic development that is not an economic development strategy that everybody can agree on, right?
I'm glad you mentioned an economic development strategy. Where we are now as a country, in the last 3 consecutive quarters, we have seen
No, the
decline.
economy has crashed, no doubt about it.
Repeat that, Dr. Phillips.
The economy has crashed.
You're saying that the gains that you made when you were financed.
I didn't put it that way. I am saying that right now,
Ah,
there is no growth in the economy. Inflation, there has been no growth apart from a little spurt that occurred after the end of COVID, and that the inflation conditions that the majority of the people have faced, the cost of living
Yes.
having gone up for the things that they consume, despite the official
emotional damage.
Yo, I want these people to stop playing with me, bro. I want these people to stop playing with me. Man, I'm a bad man, boy. I'm a bad man. You see how I did that there? You see how I found this clip quick? And that was on the fly. I'm a bad man.
inflation numbers, and I'm not quarreling with statin.
yes.
Don't get me wrong, but many of us, I would say the vast majority, consume a lot of things that statin does not include in the basket of goods that they are measuring.
Okay.
So that people are finding that they can't meet their basic
Needs.
expenses. And that is a very difficult situation. Moreover, despite all the, I mean, we need an honest discussion about things. I am pleased that, and it is true, that the unemployment numbers have gone down. But
Okay.
let us not confuse ourselves
Mm-hmm.
about the fact that there is a lot of what you can call underemployment. Saying that somebody has worked 1 hour in the past week and calling that person employed, or because you're not looking for a job because you have 2 banana and 5 orange that you sit down at the roadside and sell it. Without quarreling with the numbers, we know that we have too many people doing that kind of thing. And
Yes.
and glad as I am that they're not starving, but that is not really what you mean when you say full employment, like when you are in a developed country.
Country.
Emotional damage.
Let us be honest. Everything that Mr. Dr. Peter Phillips just said is the truth. I was saying this from the moment I heard the meaning of unemployment, because I was confused when I heard them say that unemployment was down. I was like, wait, what? Unemployment is down. And I'm looking in the streets where I live, and I'm looking at the majority of the youth hustling. No 9 to 5, no none of that, because 9 to 5 don't make no sense. They cannot pay their rent with 9 to 5. They can't feed themselves with 9 to 5. When I looked up the employment rate, and we're talking about the economy still, and we're talking about taxes, and we're talking about cost of living, it all ties into one. When I look around me, I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. They said what? Unemployment is what? I said this gotta be a lie. I said it gotta be a lie. And when I looked it up, the definition of unemployment, ladies and gentlemen, all right, employment, global meaning. When they say you're employed, right? No, no, I don't want it like that. Employment. Lord of mercy. Employment. No, employment, what was it? Employment rate? Yeah. Employment rate. Basically, it's measured off the fact that if you work 1 hour a week, it means you're employed. I gotta find back that video where I found the meaning of it. How do you measure the unemployment rate? Right? What he just said is on point. 1 hour a week is considered employment. 1 hour a week can't pay nobody bills. So this is what they're boasting in statistics. Statistics without context is trash. It is garbage. Of course your unemployment is going to be down when you consider 1 hour a week employment.
The fact that there is a lot of what you can call underemployment.
So there's a lot. The underemployment, we can say this definitively. The underemployment rate in Jamaica has skyrocketed, meaning the people that are quote unquote underemployed don't have livable wages. They cannot pay their bills with those wages. They are barely surviving. As a matter of fact, they're on the poverty line. So when the government come out and boast these statistics to make it seem as if that we are a first world country, it irks my spirit. These guys are liars. The Jamaica Lawless Party are liars. And every liar is a thief. So you're not surprised with some of the reports that come out and the other reports to come. Right? It's unbelievable.
Saying that somebody has worked 1 hour in the past week and calling that person employed, or because you're not looking for a job because you have 2 banana and 5 orange that you sit down at the roadside and sell it. Without quarreling with the numbers, we know that we have too many people doing that kind of thing.
Exactly.
And glad as I am that they're not starving, but that is not really what you mean when you say full employment, like when you are in a developed country.
Thank you.
Right? And that you have also another side of young people. Estimates are, well, young and not so young, but you have about 200,000.
Yes.
Or some people that not even looking to work. Them just into doing little hustling, little scamming, little, crime, little coke dealing and whatnot.
Wanna hear that? We don't have a productive society, people. Right? We have an ice industry that is in need of entrepreneurs to produce party ice. Instead of the government create some incentive to help those people to get loans that have no interest. How about that? Like Mr. Gaddafi had did for his country. Loans without interest. How about that? Man, if you help the Jamaican people to get loans where they can build their own, you know how much creative people we got out here? You know how much businesses is going to blow up if they are helped by the government, the small businesses? Come on, man.
They're not into anything at all. So we need that honest discussion about how we're going to get which sectors of our economy we're going to push
Mm-hmm.
that people can get the kind of wages that they need, because you can't just increase the wages if you're not earning through exports something that allows you to pay it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Thank
know?
you.
And so we have to figure out which areas of the economy we're going to target for investment. We're going to have to figure out.
You guys hear that? Which areas of the economy are going to target for investment? Let's start with agriculture. What about the weed? A lot of them dudes is into it already. Why not give them an avenue to make it legal? That they can sell medical marijuana. You know how much youths would that us? I'm talking about 2 years. Easy. We're looking at some multi-millionaires in Jamaica. 2 years. But I'm gonna leave that one right there, man. I made my point. I don't know what they talking about. We got the PMP news round in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Big up PMP news round. Make sure so go check out PMP news round, you know. So when this brother can run out people, and I talk about Dr. Dayton Campbell's statement, Zane, I mean, he just lame, because under this Jamaica Labour Party government, we have faced a high cost of living and inflation, and the unemployment rate is one of the most trash arguments ever, because the people that they're saying is unemployed is employed. They're underemployed. They're not making any money. The type of jobs them they have, they can't sustain them living. And this is what these guys are boasting about. Because if somebody listens to the statement that, oh, unemployment is the lowest it has ever been. Who remember when Dr. Dana Morris come out and I defend Andrew Owens and I say, oh, when I look at the unemployment rate, I thought it couldn't go any lower. Yo, all of these people in the Jamaica Labour Party is one band of the same thing. I trust none of them anymore. I don't see any hope for any of them. I will never vote for the JLP. Me personally, I am at that point. I will never ever. They are excommunicado from my options of voting for anybody in this country. They are wicked, wicked, wicked set of people. They lie. They're wicked. If you stand up behind Andrew Owens within 28 bank account and I talk about the best prime minister ever in our history and just come out and I tell me a lie, no sir. Me can't do it. Me not like lion. I'm sorry. And I'm not sorry. Anyway, let me know what you think about that one. Patrick in our place, what I go on.